Hey adventurers, I hope you're ready to dive in on this episode of BC Adventures China Creek. This week we go to China Creek outside of Port Alberni. We explore cloud sponges, shipwrecks, hermit crabs, octopus, and have an amazing adventure. Dive in with us on BC Adventures. Welcome back to BC Adventures. I'm Ryan Swan, and today we're going on a road trip to China Creek. China Creek is a campground just outside of Port Alberni, and it has two dive sites at it. The first dive is the migrant ship, which is an old rusty tin can at the bottom of the sea. From what I've heard, I've actually never dove it. There's also a wall to explore. So I'm looking forward to exploring both of those because I heard there's pretty good visibility and the marine life is pretty nice up there too. Here it is, the wreck. It's gorgeous and haunting all at once. We're hovering over what was left of an old migrant ship, which is slowly becoming part of an ecosystem here. The visibility today isn't perfect, but we're managing, and you can still see plenty of life clinging to the structure. Even with the slight haze, there's something really magical about finding history in the depths of the sea. Look at this sponge colony. These are boot sponges, and they're actually super common in BC waters. They may look simple, but they play a huge role in the ecosystem, filtering the water and providing shelter for small critters. It's wild to think they can live for decades. These little guys have probably been here since before the wreck was even sunk. Oh, and there's a lingcod just hanging out. They're ambushed predators lurking around the rocks or structures like this wreck to surprise their prey. Cloud sponges. They're rare in other parts of the world, but here in BC, they're kind of like our local celebrities. These sponges have an otherworldly, almost ghostly look, and they grow in these big puffy formations. They're pretty sensitive, so seeing them here is a good indicator that the water is really healthy around the shipwreck. So a bit about this shipwreck we're exploring. The vessel was one of the several ships incepted back in the late 90s for transporting migrants from China to Canada. Instead of scrapping it, the Artificial Reef Society of BC cleaned it up and sank it in 2001. Now it sits in about 75 feet of water, making it an accessible dive for exploring a unique piece of history while it becomes a reef of marine life. Over here, we found something smaller but just as cool. It's a sunken buoy boat. It was probably used for navigation and guiding the other vessels into the inlet, but now it's a resting place for a whole microcosm of marine life. Barnacles, sponges, fish have moved in, adding another layer to the underwater world. Here at China Creek, we luckily could see here the ruby octopus. These guys are usually pretty shy, but they're known for their bright, almost reddish color, hence the name. Ruby octopuses are super smart too. They're great for hiding, and they can actually change their color to blend in with their surroundings. Scientists think they might even have basic problem-solving skills, which is pretty amazing for something so small. The whole Alberni Inlet, especially China Creek, is known for its cold, nutrient-rich waters, which means tons of marine life. You get everything from colorful sponges to giant lingcod to eerie shipwrecks and real backstories. It's easy to access too, whether you're diving right from shore or starting at a nearby campground. This has become a favorite spot for divers from all over. That was absolutely insane. It was so cool to share this underwater journey with all of you. And as always, we'll see you next time on BC Adventures.